Because if you're not careful, if you go and just run ahead like this, you will have governors, police all over the place.
And well, perhaps we need to get your ideology about what governors' police are or who they
Must have control over the police in their states. It's going to be a woeful failure. But you need to look at models around the world, and you look at the American model. The governors in their states don't have control over the state police, units in America. They don't have it, and the police in those states could arrest the governor anytime and charge him to court. So that tells you. But you see, there is something. They evolved like that. We have to make it happen because our own evolution, the evolution that we experience in our society, does not turn out like that. You understand? It turns out differently. So now we have to do, it's like a donkey, or what do engineers call it? We have to deliberately, do it ourselves, make it happen, because we are not evolving like that. We're evolving like the British colonialists made us evolve. And even when they haven't left, when they left, in quotes, we're still evolving like that. We're not even evolving like their own societies. And we cannot evolve like that because they have centralized in our own evolution. Everything has been centralized. We're running a unitary system instead of a federal system. And we're lying. It's a grand national lie that we have a federal system. It's a unitary system that we're running.
Maestro, let's move on to federal government sacking 3 contractors handling Obajana Bini Road. And the story has it that other works ministry to take oversight threatens others. Abuja, the federal government has terminated the ongoing contract for the construction of section 1, 2, and 3 of Obajana Bini Road, earlier awarded to the contractor's name mentioned and what have you. The Federal Ministry of Works, in a statement signed in Abuja yesterday by the Special Assistant Media to the Minister of Works, Oji Uchenna Oji, explained that the decision to terminate the contract was taken after it was discovered that the contractors were delaying the execution of the project for no justifiable reason.
Yeah.
This to you, would you say it's right?
Okay, let me give you an example. A contract was awarded many years ago. That contract was okay.
Let's take this break. Yes, we'll be back.
88.7 FM. We can protect your car, your savings.
Let's not make it boring. Let's make insurance a lifestyle. If you ever wished your insurance offered you more, then you're in good hands with Cares Insurance Group. In addition to our extensive insurance coverage, you can also enjoy free benefits such as networking opportunities, up to 10% discount on hotels, gyms, spas, and your favorite stores, tickets to exclusive events, and free resources to plan your future. So, next time someone asks you, what does your insurance company give you, sir? Your answer should be with Hess Insurance Group. Definitely much more than insurance.
To enjoy all these, sign up on www.hairsInsuranceGroup.com. That is HEIRS. Hairs Insurance Group. Simple life is here.
Oṣù mẹ́fà ẹ bá mi dúpẹ́ oṣù mẹ́fà ẹ bá mi dúpẹ́ ó ti yẹ kóṣù mẹ́fà nìyẹn ọmọ máa ń pẹ́ dàgbà o báyìí o ọmọ rẹ ti wá nílò ju omi ọyàn nìkan lọ o àkókò ti tó láti máa fún un ní oúnjẹ fífọ́ ní àfikún sí ọyàn rí i dájú pé àwọn oúnjẹ ọmọ rẹ ní ó kéré tán ọ̀kan lára àwọn oúnjẹ àsopọ̀ márùn-ún wọ̀nyí ẹyin ẹja tàbí ẹran èso àti ewébẹ̀ epo tàbí òróró ẹ̀wà ẹ̀pà tàbí sóyà ìrẹsì ọ̀dùnkún àgbàdo tàbí iṣu ọmọ rẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti oṣù mẹ́fà nílò omi ọyàn àtàwọn oúnjẹ wọ̀nyí fún ìdàgbàsókè àti ìlera máa fún wọn lọ́yàn títí yóò fi pé ọmọ ọdún méjì àti jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ìkéde yìí wá láti àkànṣe iṣẹ́ IREN, iléeṣẹ́ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
Agidigbo 88.7 FM.
You're welcome back, Maestro. Yes, you were almost you were saying something before we took that break, so I'll have you go back to it as we're talking about the Obajana Bini Road.
Yeah, I was giving you an instance, a contract that was awarded many years ago.
Yeah, 2012 precisely.
No, not this one.
Okay, okay.
This one that I'm talking about ran into billions of naira, and long before the life of this administration started. And you heard it from the Honorable Minister of Power that this company was supposed to supply lots of meters to Nigeria, and simply took the money and went into sunshade. And since then, many years, the money only got returned recently. So sometimes you need to be firm with contractors. You have to drive at your own pace, not at their pace. Because look, Nigerians are very impatient. We don't even trust our politicians. You understand? We don't trust them already with all these contracts that they are awarding all over the place. We have our reservations and everything. And so the politician too also wants to impress on Nigerians that they are working. So if you now, took billions and then you start fooling around on site, I think this works minister has shown that he's not going to take that from anybody. So I can't tell you that it's right or wrong in this particular instance. The Honorable Minister for Power did right in going after that contractor and collecting the money.
Okay.
This one will have to hear the full story, because I refrain, from judging before I have the entire story.
All right, but let me mention that the Federal Ministry of Works, according to the story, has terminated contract numbering 6,136, 6,137, and 6,138 with the contractors mentioned. The project, he said, and I quote, "The project affected by this termination are the dualization of Obajana Bini Road, Section 2.
Let's even say let's say you mentioned 2012.
2012, yes. So, it's right here. It's right here.
So that's 12 years later.
Let me just mention it. Let me read it out. The project, which were awarded on December 3rd, 2012, were advently abandoned by the contractors, and no genuine commitment or good faith was shown towards executing the project after accepting the consideration offer by the federal government, thereby exposing the road users to untold hardship due to the deplorable condition of the project."
So it sounds even worse.
2012,
12 years.
12 years down the line.
But even at that, I would still want to hear the other side. Because you see, Nigerian government too is an interesting character.
Exactly what I wanted to point out.
And you never can tell, what those guys have to say.
I was going to say that. Are you sure this might not be political?
Well, it might be. Then again, it might not be political. It might be that it's one of those contracts where people have the confidence to take money and walk away, that nothing's going to happen. Well, you have a lot of that in this country. And then it might also be that at some point, the contractors have been asking for a review. This happens a lot. And if they're asking for a review and they're not getting it, it might also be one of the reasons for this thing happening like that. So we need to simply hear from the other side before we can say, they were right or wrong.
Now let's Wike is in the news again. Wike, Kingibe in war of words.
They've been at it for a while.
They've been on this for quite some time. is not working for FCT people, says Senator. You won't return to Senate. Wike replies. Where would this go to? Before now, it was Wike Fubara.
Well, it's not even related. Wike Fubara is another matter.
Yes, but
this one is about a minister that believes the FCT minister should play a role that she has in her mind is the right role. And the minister believes it's the wrong role to play. And I think if you look at the initial statements that they both made, I think Wike, was right in that there was nothing to even tell you. I've not sat down, I've not done anything, and you're asking me to brief you about this and that. And let me sit down first. Let me see what's going on. So I think they started on a wrong footing. And I believe that this is coming from, what we don't see on the table at all. What we don't see on the table at all is you've been having ministers, you've been having senators representing places for a long time. We've not seen this kind of fight, between senators and FCT ministers. So it simply tells me that it goes beyond, what's on the table. So maybe we'll begin to check some other things beneath the table. Maybe that would show us precisely what's going on. I think there's a strong political flavor to the ego. There is ego. There is political flavor. Politicians they come with a lot of ego already. If you don't have, you might not become a successful politician if you don't have enough ego in you. So, and their egos are clashing, here and there now. That they are talking about you won't return to the Senate, and so on and so forth.
I would unseat you. You won't return to the Senate and whatever.
So we have that kind of thing going on now. It's really worse. But look, it doesn't affect the price of fish. So it really does not bother me if they are having their little drama on the side. So long as they are not disturbing the peace of the country. That's why I said it doesn't relate like Rivers will relate, because that's disturbing us. That one is disturbing everybody. So and it has the potential for conflagration. So we might be more interested in that than this other one.
Now let's look at what could affect fish in the market in the long run, and that's talking from the front page of the Punch newspaper. Dangote feel marketers fear high-priced petrol ahead of supply. According to the story, 2 to 3 weeks.
Marketers they are a very interesting lot, and these marketers, they love this kind of headlines. They're always talking about, pump price increments. I don't see their headlines talking about when it's going to come down. And they have been doing a lot of things to us in this country for a very long time, terrible things. And so I think it's about time they just let us breathe a little. Let the thing happen first. Come out, and then we will deal with it. But they are always implying, even when we were saying there's no way in the world that, the Port Harcourt refinery would be on, Dangote refinery will be on, and so on. They were saying the price will still go up. They say it won't affect it. They were the ones behind that kind of media, the marketers. Now it's the international oil companies that Dangote is saying, look, they're sabotaging me. And so we what I've been saying is that the government, this administration, must be the spine of this Dangote refinery effort. It mustn't fall. And the other thing is that I know that it's important for an administration like this to ensure that one way or the other, the pump price, comes down, even if it is by 10 or 20 naira, it must come down. So it has its job cut out for it, but it has a big fight, against these marketers, because they have an exclusive focus on their own profits. They don't really care whether the economy improves or not. It's none of their business. And over the years, they have shown that kind of disposition, that this is about profit and nothing else.
So now, for a very long time now, we've heard, right now, according to this same story, what is on it is saying that in 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now, Dangote Refinery will kickstart, would have fuel from Dangote Refinery. But we've had and heard that countless times, that Dangote Refinery will kickstart by February. And what would you say, in your own perspective, that had been the challenge all along? Because at some point, Dangote came out and said the cabals are also affecting his refinery, they're affecting the production and what have you. And you're saying now that we should at least allow it start. But it's taking quite a very long time.
I'm not bothered that Dangote Refinery is taking forever to start, because it's a private effort. So I'm not about to cross my boundary and begin to look into why Dangote Refinery effort is a serious business. Dangote knows that for as long as it's not coming on, he's losing money. And he does not want to lose money. That's a private enterprise. It's not...
How about Port Harcourt Refinery?
That's where I have a problem. And I've said it. Now they're telling us that before this year runs out or something like that. And I'm not interested in that. And I think it's a shame that they have given us different dates. And failed. And they are not even coming out with their full chest this time around to say, we are sorry. This is what happened. This is why it did not happen like we said it will happen. They're just dumping it somewhere in the newspapers and walking away. And I think that's disrespectful and unfair, to a lot of people who are looking forward, to an ease, in their lives. And then we make it as casual as that. That, okay, for the third time, what we said is not happening again. So don't worry, somewhere down the line, I think it should be a ceremony. It should have been a ceremony. It should have been a ceremony of apology. Coming out, someone of note in this administration coming out to say, we are sorry. Port Harcourt Refinery will not be able to come on as we said it will come on. And these are the reasons for it happening like that. We are sure of this, so. That's how you deal with human beings.
It's up at 7, so we'll take calls now as we'll open the phone lines. 0704 1001 887. That's the number to dial. 0704 1001 887. For those in the diaspora, it is +234 704 700 8871. +234 704 700 8871. But please listen to this before you make that call.
Because we have the people's voice. Why you contribute to this program? Kindly note that in accordance with broadcasting, you are requested to keep your contributions modest, truthful, contract, and not offensive, inflammatory, or with discomfort to anyone. Thank you. Now, let the conversation begin.
Studio Live. The program is The Dailies. We're live right here at the Kunle Hamzat Studios, Agidigbo 88.7 FM. And there are a number of messages on Facebook. But first, let's take this. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
Good morning.
The government should take to governance and stop this issue of cartel or cabal. What is cabal? The government that is established, constitutional government. What are the investigations against? Are you having a report? Are you not having similar periodic reports to push on? And the problem we have is the pretended territory or whatever like they be for one policy maker of likely and intending to, they will reject it out. That is it. Look at what problem is contributing before you of independence. Talking is breaking with us and so many other sub countries that we know. Some of us are so before. This is what we very good thought at the end of it is so just as the analyst said, how have been committed? Think how many severally have been committed. I just wish this country will not and will not for Jesus.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Alabi Abidoye on Facebook says, Oga Maestro, I'm very happy having you in Agiribo Station 88.7 FM. I have been thinking long ago that it would be good and complete if you could be here. I therefore thank God Almighty for Agiribo Station for having you and pleased your contribution to this our country whenever you are called. I love it. Thank you and good morning. Abidoye Alabi, that's on Facebook. And also on Facebook, we have other comments right here. Here is another one from Raji Afiz Abidemi, who says, good morning, Soul and Meister. On the issue of custom seizing weapons, kudos to custom officers, but they need to do more. We don't know how many weapons have entered into this country without the knowledge of the custom officers. Custom officers should work more, more than and generate revenue. God bless Nigeria. Okay, more than what they do, and they should generate revenue. Adakon Taiwo Olaiton says, good morning, Maestro. I want to seize this opportunity to appeal to Lagelu. Oh mine. Okay,
You can't do that.
We can't do that here. So we'll just you can have that on another program like Awarawa. That could be done, but not on the dailies this morning. Adexi says on the fuel problem. It's a pity that we don't have leaders who are sincere up till now. We are talking about Dangote or marketers. What about our refineries that our government are unable to keep working? But we can celebrate private refinery for selfish reasons. The government is the cause of the continued fuel increase. Let's take other calls. 0704 1001 887. 0704 1001 887. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
No, good morning, my brothers. I'm Alaji Tunde Awolagola. Nice meeting you today.
Same here.
Good morning.
He has affected a lot of issues. Right from the Dangote issue, it seems some people are bent on forgetting, making Nigerians one ease. What is happening? This is an investment we are involved. At least Nigeria has 20%. And apart from the 20%, you recover. Dangote was given free access to foreign exchange. The other groups that were like it, about 23, we have not had of any to use it. Even that of Redo are not produced, who can produce it. So if Dangote now is blocked, then the government has failed. Because I've not seen the government being thrown with a passport or Kaduna or any other. It's only that they are concentrating their attention on. And Dangote is crying out that they are sabotating its efforts. And those who are sabotating efforts are part and parcel of the government. Because these are cabal. So the president should come up and use his power on these people. If he cannot do it, then we are done for. Because I don't know how they are willing the petrol price will reduce. Because the marketers will continue to give excuses to maintain or increase the price of petrol. God bless your day.
Amen. And you and yours as well. Thank you so much. 0704 1001 887. 0704 1001 887. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from, sir?
Allow me from Nigeria.
Okay, please go ahead, sir.
For me, our government, they should pity this country because they know the way the conditions they make this country.
Oh, mine. We lost that. You'd have to call us back. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir.
Thanks for the job well done. This will have it from Africa. I have a question. This question is not logical. It is pertinent. Mr. Metro, can we operate as a country without oil? Because I could discover that we have so many countries. Let's say, for example, the Francophone countries. They don't have oil. And they don't make their economy from oil. And they are surviving. What is wrong with Nigeria? Thank you very much.
All right, that question, you said Francophone countries are surviving without fuel. And you said surviving. Nobody wants to survive. People want to thrive and have a good life. And many of those Francophone old colonies, they are not having it as good as they would want it. We can't do anything without oil simply because we have oil already. So it would, according to you, be logical to conclude that we could function without fuel. But when we did not have crude oil, the entire Western region was run on something else. And we had it much better than this. Unfortunately, the entire foundation had been crushed under the weight of a pseudo-federation where everything became centralized. And then we don't even know how to run this central system. Only corrupt people know how to get by. And so, but when you look at the Brits who came here, they have Wales, they have Scotland, they have England and Northern Ireland. So, and these are like countries, individual countries inside that union. And that's what we had before we got to this sorry point. We had the Northern region, Western region, Eastern region. Those were the three we had. Then later on, they carved out, when they started making this mess, they carved out Midwest region. And the next spot was 12 states. And everything started going down the hill.
So would you say, according to him, would you say the cost is not oil, is not fuel, but managing it or managing the resources that comes out of it?
It's, yes, managing is a big problem, but then it's an entire story. It's an entire story that will take a very long time, because that crude oil should have served us a lot. But we didn't even have a fair share of the crude oil. It kept on going out there. Because, you see, the colonial-minded person does not just give up. And the unfortunate impression that many of our people have, including highly educated people, is that, the Oyinbo man, he finished with us and he left after independence. He left. But he didn't leave. He simply upgraded. Right from slavery, he upgraded to slave trade. From slave trade, he upgraded to colonization. From colonization, he upgraded to neo or economic colonization. And because we don't see that on our streets, we don't see Oyinbo people all over the place like DOs and everything, we somehow sank into that psychological black hole that, oh, he's gone. And so we are the ones messing up things by ourselves. Yes, we are largely messing up by his proxies, who are the powerful ones. Why would I want to give up my crude oil that we had, all of us had? Why would I want to give it up so that only a few of us will now have it? What kind of economic sense does that make? And so they said they were privatizing, that it's the name of the game, all this regular IMF advice to keep us indebted to them. But like I said, it's an entire program on its own. So you probably don't have the time to hear the entire story.
Maybe we'll listen to that on the BCIU someday.
Someday.
Okay, now let's look at some other stuff on Facebook. Idris Adisa says, "Good morning, Soul and Maestro. The country belongs to us all. It's just unfortunate that the issue of insecurity, banditry, Boko Haram, suicide bombing, and so on are affecting most the common against the state police. God bless Meister for his unbiased analysis, especially on politician and political issues, because many of us always selfishly discuss those issues. So we need local government autonomy, restructuring, new constitution, and state police. Then we can take from there, at least if we are not there yet. We'll be getting close to our development." That's coming from Idris Adisa. Now, Kazim Olawale says, "Wike's utterances are always destructive." Well, that's different from what your perception about this earlier.
Yeah.
It is after winning elections at all costs, or to allow River State people to have peace of mind. Okay, it should allow River State people have peace of mind, not minding who is leading. Okay, I've got to go back to that. Sorry. Okay, not minding who is leading River State instead of his wish to force himself on the people. This must stop.
That's not what we even discussed.
That wasn't what we discussed.
Absolutely.
A different thing
So
entirely.
sometimes I urge people to focus. Because if you don't focus and be contextual, you might not be able to participate intelligently in the discussion. It's a problem.
Femi Ranke, we'll come back to your comment on Facebook. We need to pay some bills now. We'll go pay some bills. When we return, we'll come back to that and more on the program, The Dailies, right here.
I am pregnant. It is important for me to take care of myself and stay healthy. To be strong and have a healthy pregnancy, take iron and folic acid tablets every day when you're pregnant. This prevents anemia and helps maintain a healthy pregnancy. Visit your healthcare provider for regular antenatal care. This message is from the AMI Project, Oyo State Ministry of Health.
Bóyá gbà ọmọ mi ọ̀hún.
Mami, àti mílíkì sí ni.
Kò di dandan ìwọ tó ọ̀hún ná.
Báwo lẹ ṣe ṣe?
Ǹjẹ́ mílíkì inú ìpéye?
Ní gidi gan.
Ṣé ọ̀rá wàrà náà ìṣàtò?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ní lọ́dún ìwọ̀n milky and creamy nìyẹn o. Mílíkì inú ìpéye mi ò nílò láti ṣàfikún mílíkì sí i.
Mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ̀ màámi.
Fún àwọn ọmọ rẹ ní nílò 3-in-1 milky àti creamy tuntun. Mílíkì inú ìpéye ó kún fún calcium láti ràn àwọn ọmọ rẹ lọ́wọ́ láti yege lójoojúmọ́. Nílò agbára láti tẹ̀síwájú.
Ó fẹ́ sílé, àná fẹ́ sílé, ọba lọ́gà fẹ́ sílé lẹ́yìn ájì tuntun. Latest Alhaji and latest standard. Ìdílé àlùmọ̀ àti mẹ́tàdé, ọba lọ́gà fẹ́ sílé tuntun. Bàdàní wáyé bá wá dé gbìyànjú èèyàn ládé, ọpẹ́ ló tọ́. Èyí ló mú Alhaji ìdílé àlùmọ̀ pé gbogbo olólùfẹ́ rẹ̀ síbi ìwé jẹ́wọ́ fún ìrìn àjò padà sílé láti ilẹ̀ mímọ́ Mẹ́kà tá a pè ní Tọ́pẹ́tàdé. Pẹ̀lú ìsílé tuntun, housewarming, ọba lọ́la, ọba dúpẹ́ o. ṣàgbátẹrù ẹ̀ sábàkàdé ìkiri àlùmà ní tuntun ní tuntun wàá
Akíndígbẹ̀ 88.7 FM.
You're welcome back. Time is fast spent. So let's go through Femi Ranki's message on Facebook. Good morning. It baffles me that it takes too much time to implement policies that will ease the masses in this country. Our senators, okay, another comment is coming in. So I've got to, okay. Our senators from past and present are all the same. Not one politician in Nigeria is accountable. Well,
that's the problem of perception. You see, it's not so much these individuals; it's so much the system. So you need to address your mind to the system. Look, every 4 years, we say, "Oh, this administration is the worst we've ever seen." Every 4 years, and so we say, "Let another person come." It's not about persons now; it's about a system. And that's what people have been failing to realize. Yes, you can point at a politician as, oh, this person is awful in office. It's okay. But you see, you need to also see beyond that and realize that this is a function, of dysfunctional system. It's not just about, okay, let me go and get a better person. If you get a better person, you put them in this system, they become the worst person, because they are getting worst by gradients. So by time, it's just flowing across you, you're looking at it. So if the system is decaying, you can't get better persons to come and run it. Because
the system would affect even the better person.
That's precisely what we are facing. Even if you have a good person, in any case, that system, is like you start from. I tell people, if you want to go into high offices, you have to come with your certificate of corruption. And you get your certificate of corruption by dint of hard work. So your colleagues recognize that you're one of them. Or you have a political dynasty that you're coming from, and they know, okay, this is already Baba. So you have to display. If you don't display it, you don't go high up.
It says,
and so if you knew that, and you're still expecting performance and life to turn around, I don't get it.
Now, who changes the system?
All of us have to use the energy that we use in abusing people, the energy we use in crying,
pointing, accusing fingers,
in doing all these things, the energy we even waste on not even understanding the issues. Bring that energy, pull the energy, and come behind restructuring. You can't build something on nothing. So when you push hard for restructuring, whether in components or in whole, that is when you begin to make a change. The politician expects you to be fighting one another on his behalf every 4 years. Oh, this is the person that should have been. Oh, that's the person. It's a lie. Put the person, whoever it is. Do you know how many years people kept on saying Buhari was the Messiah? Do you know how many years? Only for him to get there and unravel. It was a royal meltdown before then. Okay. But you see, it's not just that. Every year, the Naira falls further. Right through different administrations, the Naira falls further before the dollar. It is constant. Go and check all your administrations from military years to this point. Every year, right through administrations, every moment, the pump price increases.
But it's dropped some time ago during Yar'Adua's regime.
But it was momentary. You cannot now put. That's an instance against the general.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
You don't really want to. Your truth is that's the pattern.
That's a trend.
Now come and tell me how you want to swim against that tide, because you put somebody in the governor's office or you put somebody in the president's office. That is why our own advocacy has been strong in favor of restructuring, because we know the issues and we understand what the solution is.
Before we go, our time is fast spent. Mbaime Nana says, it's a bombing explosion. is becoming a daily occurrence these days, as nobody seems bothered.
That's misinformation. It's not a daily occurrence.
It's been a while. But he said here, I remember that Jonathan's administration was spent. Okay, sorry. I must read this. I remember that Jonathan's administration was sent packing on account of explosion, kidnapping, and the rest. But it looks as if these vices have become a daily occurrence and everyone seems not to care about it. That's from...
I like to put things in perspective. You see, the truth matters. And if you are not coming with the truth, if you're saying bombing is a daily occurrence, I don't want to attend to that because it's falsehood.
Okay, this last one, I don't think I would want to take this because it's talking about saying something else. Let's go to Kazim. So P. Tain P. Sabless. I'm sorry, I cannot take that. Kazim Olawale says, Mr. Soul, please, the fuel problem is the handiwork of our leaders who are regulating based on what profits them. The leaders are the instrument who's to kickstart restructuring, but some also said Tinubu is better.
I don't know who's better. I don't know how you're looking at it. I'm telling you that the system keeps getting worse right through different administrations. So, I mean, if you are saying Tinubu is better, it's probably because that's the direction of your own politics. And somebody else is going to say, oh, Obasanjo far better. Buhari was even great. So people are going to see these things from partisanship politics directions. But the point is, what we are emphasizing is the system itself is getting worse, right through different administrations. That's one thing that you cannot fault. And if it is the system that is this bad, then it's the system that we need to change, not the persons who are already the ones who even know how to manipulate this terrible system.
On that note, we've got to draw curtains on the program this morning. I must say thanks to Maestro for making it down today, and I'm quite hopeful that you have Wuraola Yusuf seated here tomorrow at the usual time.
Don't we miss her?
The name is Adedotun Amoson. Until some other time, I say have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye for now.